Chapter 8. Ausie, Ausie. I open my eyes and see there is a man standing over the bed. He has his hand on my shoulder, and I think he was shaking me awake. "What's wrong? Are you having a bad dream?" he asks. I look around the room and see another man standing at the door. The sun is out, and the candles are all burnt out. "Hi," I say, still shocked by their presence. The throw blanket is still covering me, and I'm sleeping on the exact same bed I passed out on last night. "You sleeping with the back door wide open? We could hear you screaming all the way from the gate," the man says. I check my phone and the time is 8 a.m. How is it possible that I didn't hear the alarm clock at 6 a.m.? And who are these men? I was screaming. The last thing I remember was being in the basement with the little girl, and I wasn't screaming. The man looks at me and shakes his head. "You need to take a laxative, my sister. Please show us the electricity meter," he says. Oh, it's them. They made it. There's a popular belief that bad dreams mean you have to cleanse your colon with a laxative. It's an old one and nobody knows its origins. I had a bad dream, I think. I say, jumping out of the bed, although I know for sure everything that happened that night was not a dream, and I'm completely sure I locked all the doors of this house before I went to sleep last night. I am not paranoid like my grandmother who checked all doors and windows 3 times before she went to sleep, but I know I wouldn't sleep with the door unlocked, let alone wide open. As we walk down the passage, the memory of me shifting this wooden shelf and going under the house is clear as day. But it's strange that when I look at it, it doesn't look like it was ever shifted. I lead the 2 men to the meter behind the house and watch as they open it. It's completely dead. The whole meter was removed and the wires are cut. The other one says, "I'm just standing here in pajamas, waiting for them to tell me they can fix this today." But instead, they pick up their box from the ground and look like they are ready to leave. "You need someone to come here and look at the whole wiring. They might have to start it from scratch. I don't know." "Nope, I don't have time for that." "Can't you do it?" "That's not our job, my sister. You have to hire a private electrician." He must notice the desperate look on my face, because he asked me to take down a phone number and call that person. The number belongs to a Patrick. He says Patrick is pricey, but he's fast and the best in what he does. "And the water?" "Ask Patrick. He will know someone." I want to ask about the other things too, like the fencing and the painting, but I don't want to seem like some damsel in distress. There has to be at least one thing I can organize for myself. "My sister, don't do that again. Don't sleep with the doors open. There's no crime in this area, but you are the last house on this road. Anyone can take advantage. You never know what people are thinking." "I swear I locked all the doors last night." "The door was locked, I swear. It could be the kids from that house across. Maybe they came here while I was asleep. I'm going there to speak to their parents." He looks confused all of a sudden. "What house?" "The house across this one. The one with the kids all over." There are only 4 houses on this plot, nothing else. The land was given to 4 women by a farm owner in 1975 or something. He built them the houses and then he disappeared. You don't know the story of this land. And with that, his colleague tells them they have to go. And he goes, leaving me with many unanswered questions. I'm heading back inside the house when my phone rings. It's that B&B owner. So now he wants to talk to me. Nope, I'm not answering. My checkout is tomorrow morning and he has no right to be asking me anything. My first thought is to go check the back door to see if there's any evidence that those kids were here. Nope, nothing. The house is there, and the kids are playing on the yard as always. It could be that they're living there illegally. That is why they have no utilities. That house is probably not on municipality records. There are 3 trees on the yard. I hadn't noticed that before. Also, it kind of looks like the house in that drawing I saw in the basement. But the drawing was so bad, it's hard for me to be certain. What I'm most certain about, though, is that I did not dream everything that happened last night. I was there. Everything was real. The wooden cabinet is still where it always is, and I use all my strength to try and push it aside so I can open that trapdoor again. But it doesn't move. It feels like it has been nailed to the floor. The B&B owner calls again, and I have no time for him. I will ignore him like he has been ignoring me for the past 3 days. On second thought, I actually need to go to the B&B today because I need to use the internet, take a shower, and warm my food. The little girl has not shown up this morning, but as far as I remember, when we left that room under the house, we were in good terms. I still don't know why I was screaming in my sleep when those technicians woke me though. I left the chocolate bar and a can of Coke on top of the wooden shelf in case she breaks in again, because clearly she has her own way of entering this house that I do not know about. The owner of this place has been blasting my phone all morning because of a blanket. It turns out the housekeeping lady came in to clean and noticed that the blanket was missing. I mean, my very expensive trench coat is hanging in the wardrobe. My 2 perfumes and a whole suitcase are still in this room. Why would he think I would leave all those things here and run off with the blanket? Even the blankets I came with are in this room. Also, he didn't accuse me of stealing the blanket to my face. He sent a text as I was driving here. And when I arrived and texted him that I was back and he should come to my room to see the blanket, he didn't respond. The way I'm going to drag this place when I review my stay. I have emails from 2 of the multiple places I sent my CV to. One is acknowledging receipt and the other is asking me to include more references. I've only worked for 2 organizations in my life, and I have chosen not to include the first one on my CV references. The less said about my boss there, the better. I don't respond to either of them because I have to be realistic and accept that I do not know when I'll be available to start a new job. Not until I've sorted out whatever my grandmother made me come to De Deer for. Now, Seipati Mhlalose. There's nothing about her on Google. There are many Seipatis, of course, but not one with the surname Mhlalose. She was probably born with a different surname and then married a Mhlalose. 4 women inherit land in De Deer. I put that on Google next, but there is nothing that even comes close to what I'm looking for. I've heard that if you want to know the truth about any place, find the oldest person in the community and you will get the most accurate history. The woman I met at the farm store on my first day here is the oldest person I've seen so far, but I doubt she's above 65. I try Google again. White man gives 4 black women his land in De Deer. And here it is. 2 links with different headlines. What happened to the De Deer 4? Who remembers the crazy story about those 4 women in De Deer? There isn't much to go on under the 2 headings. It's the exact things that man told me this morning. The next link takes me to a Facebook post by a man who wanted to write a book about the 4 and was asking for information. There are no comments under the post. I check the rest of his profile page and see a string of messages telling him to rest in peace from 3 years ago. Oh well, that's unfortunate. The lawyer has not responded to my email and texts. That's frustrating. If I go back to the municipal offices, I'm sure I can persuade that feet-shuffling lady to give me the names of the other 3 women. She seemed nice enough, even though she called me dear and I wanted to slap her for it. If at least one of them is alive, I'm sure they'd be able to tell me about Seipati and who I am to her. I must be someone important, maybe a relative or something, because she wouldn't just leave her house to a random person. But that's tomorrow's work. Today, I have to focus on what I have already started. Patrick answers at the 3rd ring. I introduce myself and tell him who gave me his numbers, although I don't even know the guy's name, just that he works for the municipality. He knows exactly who I'm talking about, and much to my relief, he says he can be at the house in 2 hours. I didn't expect that, but he tells me he is a busy man and will only be available for my issue next Wednesday if he doesn't come today. I had no plans of going back to that house today, but I can't wait another 5 days, so I start packing. Ding ding. I'm leaving now. You're welcome to check the room and make sure everything I found here is still here. If he ignores my text again, I'm going to leave water running in every tap in this room just to teach him a lesson. Now and again, Mzolisi tries to convince me to go to therapy because apparently I believe in hurting people back, and he believes that's a red flag. If that were true, I would have hurt my sister back, but I didn't, did I? I think I would listen to him more if I could love him back. I'm done and zipping my suitcase closed when I hear a soft knock on the door. I know exactly who it is. Hi, nice of you to finally show up. What are these crosses behind the doors? He's standing at the door like some scared little mouse. I guess he didn't expect my wrath. I wait for him to speak, but he doesn't. Oh well. I'm leaving. Thank you for your shit service and please expect a very accurate review. Come in. I didn't steal anything. You're welcome to check. He shakes his head and tells me it's okay. Now that he's standing in front of me, I realize how angry I am at the way he's been treating me. Do not take bookings from black people if this is how you're going to treat us, I say. He looks shocked, but I don't care. I'm too angry. I know how old white people from these towns can be. Ma'am, this is not about race, I swear. Where are you going? Where are you going to sleep tonight? Definitely not here. Not about race. So you treat all your guests the same way you've been treating me here. His eyes drop. Maybe I'm reaching. He was really nice the first night I was here, but that is no excuse for his behavior after that. Where are you sleeping tonight? He asks again. I've booked a hotel for as long as I'll have to be in this town, but I'm only checking in there tomorrow afternoon, so I'm sleeping at the house tonight. I'm telling him all this information only because he is blocking my way, and also he looks really concerned. Don't sleep in that house. Excuse me? You can stay here. You can extend your stay. I'm okay with that. You don't even have to pay. You can stay for free. Why? Bad things happened in that house, Charlotte. A tragedy. Nobody goes to that house. I ask him what happened. He refuses to tell me, but he insists I shouldn't go. I should be scared, I know. But I can't just leave this town without finding out my family's connection to the house. Well, since you won't tell me, I'll go find out for myself. Chapter 9. Patrick is a tall, chubby man. His belly hangs over his waist belt and his pants hang low, showing the top part of his ass crack. He looks like someone with no regard for hygiene or image. He smells like cigarette ash, and there are patches of dry sweat under his light blue shirt. He also has no manners because he walked in here and grabbed a bottle of water from the coffee table without asking. I was trying to explain to him what the problem is, but he just walked out while I was talking and went straight to the back of the house where the meter is supposed to be. Even now, he's doing things to it with a screwdriver while I stand here waiting for him to acknowledge my presence. The guys from the municipality said you might have to start the wiring from scratch. This information is my contribution to whatever it is that he's doing. He puts the screwdriver on the ground and picks another tool. No need for that. I know exactly where I cut it, so I know how to fix it. I don't think I heard him right. You know where you cut it? He turns and looks at me. Yes, 15 years ago, he says, and goes back to whatever he's doing with the tool. I'm about to ask for further clearance when his phone rings. He answers it and continues working with it between his shoulder and ear. I wait for about 5 minutes before I realize he isn't on a business call, and by the way he is laughing and chatting, this call is going to take long. Please grab me that, he says, just as I was walking away. It's an electricity meter, one of those prepaid ones. He's still on that call, and I'm not sure if I should go back inside the house or wait for him to finish. I don't want him leaving while I'm inside. He needs to tell me what he meant by what he said. But, unlike Kutulo and those girls, I doubt he'll leave without getting his money. I subconsciously push the wooden cabinet when I walk past it on the passage, hoping it will move this time. It doesn't. In the bedroom, my suitcase is on top of the bed, and it has just hit me that I do not have a blanket for tonight. I'm going to have to sleep with a pile of clothes on. In the dark too, because all the candles are finished. I wonder how much I will get for this house. It is not only big inside, it has a big yard too, and if I fix it right, I can get enough money to buy myself a country estate. A lot of people are leaving the big cities. These types of places are the in thing now. The house back in Cullinan is definitely worth peanuts, and I'll sell it even if it's for next to nothing. I do not see myself living there without my grandmother. I jump off the bed, startled by the sound on the ceiling. Patrick is at the door. He pressed the switch and the light bulb flicked into a flame and died immediately. I'm about to ask, but he's already standing on top of the bed, replacing the globe. I only have 3 light bulbs. I'll put this one here. I'll put the second one in the passage and the other one outside, so that you have some light there, he says, walking to the door to press the switch again. There's light. I cannot believe it. I'll walk him to the kitchen. Don't switch the stove on. Throw it away. Don't switch any appliances in this house on. They're all a fire hazard, he says. Well, it's just the stove and the TV anyway. I want him to put the 3rd bulb at the back because I want to be able to see the house across even at night. But he says there's no need for light to that side, and then goes on to put it at the front without listening to my reason for wanting it at the back. I'll buy more bulbs tomorrow. For now, I'm just happy that there's some progress. Patrick, what did you mean when you said you cut off the electricity? I know he's waiting to get his money and go, but I can't let him leave without giving me an explanation. I did. The people around here asked me to. There used to be people here, but they're all gone because of some little girl in a yellow dress. The family that lived in the house before this one were the ones that paid me to cut everything off. And then they left because things got worse after that. They claimed the little girl killed their mother one night and that the girl is a ghost. Do you have food here? I'm not understanding what's happening here. Not at all. And is he asking me for food? I'll have this, thank you, he says, taking the KFC box that was supposed to be my supper from the coffee table. There are a lot of stories about this place, but I don't believe in any of that stuff at all. People around here are born here, live here all their lives, and die here. That is why they make up fairy tales. Imagine a little girl killing a grown woman and then disappearing like she never existed. Does that make sense to you? He's talking and chewing with his mouth open. The normal me would be disgusted at the sight, but right now I do not care at all. Here, I just told you. They said she lived here in this house. That's why they hired me to cut the power. There was some story about a man who lived here before that. He died. You know what? If that man was the ghost, it would make sense. Not some little child who was never here. Now I can't help thinking that this is why people have been like this since I arrived in this town. It is because of all these stories. But the little girl was here, and she was real. I thought the little girl was from the house across. She's been coming here. He raises his eyebrows at me and shoves what is left of the chicken piece in his mouth before he speaks. The girl. You saw the girl. I nod. And a house. What house? There's no house across here. You're alone in this place. No, that's not true. The house with 3 trees in the backyard and many children. He wipes his mouth with the sleeve of his shirt and gets up. He can't go, not now. But I can't order him to stay. I don't even know him. You sound like Jumanji. He's always saying things that don't make sense about some blue house and some girl living under a wooden cabinet. Don't end up being a community lunatic like him. Go to those brain doctors, he says. And with that, he walks out the door. I've already transferred him his money. I'm left frozen on the sofa. And when I come to my senses, I race to the bedroom to get all my stuff. From the passage, I can see through the back door. It's wide open. It could be my eyes, but I see nothing beyond it. There's no house across, no children on the yard, and no 3 trees. In fact, the land is flat. I have to get out of this house because I've clearly lost my mind. I had not opened the suitcase at all, so I grab it, my laptop bag and handbag. My car keys are on the coffee table. I don't care if I'm leaving anything else behind. I need to go. Now. When I reach the passage, the back door is closed. So is the front door. Girlie, the TV is still not working. She's here. Same yellow dress, barefoot, same unkempt hair. I try to open the front door, but it's locked. My car keys are also not on the coffee table anymore. She's sitting on the sofa, flapping her legs. Why didn't that man fix the TV? He came back to fix the lights. I'm standing here by the door with my bags, not knowing what to do next. I do not believe in ghosts. And even if they do exist, it's impossible for them to do any harm because they don't have actual bodies. What I don't understand is how the house across is not there anymore. Why am I even thinking about this? I have to go home now. She turns to look at me, and I've seen that angry face a few times before. I thought it was just toddler tantrum all along. This is your home. I found you here, remember? I tried to open the door again, and it doesn't budge. I wouldn't even bother with the back door. It's already dark outside, and as usual, there's no phone signal. I shouldn't have let Patrick leave me here. I'm trying to remain calm because the idea of being harmed by a 4-year-old seems impossible. What could she possibly do to me that I can't defend myself from? And then it hits me. I can't touch her. I tried last night. Now I'm sweating and my heart is beating fast. This is not a real child. I'm losing my mind when she gets up from the sofa and comes to stand in front of me. Let's just go back to our room. We'll call the man to come fix the TV tomorrow. I hope he won't pretend to not see me this time. I'm not moving. I'm getting out of here. Let's go, girlie, before he comes back from work. I'm glad you're back now, she says, smiling. I stare at her blankly. It's time for you to remember, she says. Her smile suddenly gone. Chapter 10. My head is throbbing. My throat is dry. I'm curled up at a corner in a dark room, 1 candle burning and 2 figures in front of me. They are sitting on 1 single bed mattress. It's 2 girls. The older one must be around 12, and the child must be 3 or so. They don't look scared, just tired and maybe hungry. There's a metal bucket at the far corner of the room. I figure that is where the smell of urine is coming from. There's also a 5-liter plastic bottle of water next to where they're sitting, and a metal plate with 2 slices of bread that are almost dry. I don't know how I got here, but I know this is the same room I was in last night. These 2 girls were not here, and the walls weren't this plain. There were drawings all over them. Hello, I say. I greet them again, but there is still no response from neither of them. I walk to where they're sitting, and even when I'm standing right in front of them, they don't look up at me. I realize when the little one crawls right past me to curl herself at the corner that they cannot see me. It's like I'm not there at all. Panic and fear has me shouting and waving my hands in front of the older one's face. Still nothing. The door is locked. There's no handle on the inside. I bang on it with my fists, but even I cannot hear the sound of the banging or feel any pressure on my fists. Stay here, the little girl whispers. Lie down and close your eyes. The little one does as she is told. I hear footsteps from outside and feel some relief. Someone is here to open this damn door. There's a sound of a chain rattling and a key turning. I rush to the door, hoping whoever it is behind it is here to get us out. It's a man. He's an old, maybe not even 30 yet. I've never seen him in my life before. I greet him and quickly step out of the room to a dark passage. I don't think he heard me, or that he can see me. The older girl is up on her feet, but the man pushes her out of the way and flips the mattress. Where is she? He says, frantically looking around the room. She's still too little. Please don't, the girl says. She's following the man around the room, begging. Now that she is moving forward, I can see how old and worn out her dress is. She's scrawny too, like she doesn't eat much. It's been a year. She's old enough, he says. I don't understand who these people are and why I'm here. but this man gives bad energy. I watch the older girl dropping to her knees and placing her hands on the man's feet. She's in tears, shouting, "Please, please," repeatedly. I feel that I must help her. She looks very distressed. "She's a child. Take me," the girl pleads, still on her knees and her arms wrapped around the man's legs. I'm back inside the room when he kicks her on the chest, landing her on her back on the floor. He finds the little one at the corner and grabs her by the arm, dragging her out of the room. The older girl's cries are loud, but I can still hear the door being shut, locked, and the footsteps going down the passage. I do not know if it is day or night. There's no window in this room. The girl is curled on the mattress, and I really want to comfort her and ask her what is going on here. If only she could see me. She cries for hours. I watch her. I expect her to fall asleep, but she doesn't. She cries and cries. I don't feel sleepy at all, and I don't think I'd be able to even if I wanted to fall asleep here. I hear the key turning again after what seemed like a whole day or whole night. The little girl is thrown in, and the door is shut and locked from the outside. The man's footsteps disappear down the passage. The little girl is crawling on the floor. The older one meets her halfway and carries her to the mattress. "He hurt me, sissy," she says in a tired voice. "I know. Don't worry, girlie. It will get easier. I'm sorry." "Sissy." "Girlie." She wraps her with the only blanket they have and rocks her in her arms. "They're just children. What kind of sick monster is that man? I know exactly what he did to her and what he's been doing to the other girl too. Sissy and girlie, this is who the girl in the yellow dress was talking about. She's been trying to tell me the whole time. Their names are not real names. They just mean sister and girl. I don't know what kind of supernatural shit I'm in here, but if I'm supposed to help these children, how am I going to do that when I can see them but they can't see me?" I watch her rock the little one until she falls asleep in her arms. The candle is almost burnt out and I can barely see anything. The stench coming from the bucket in the corner is almost unbearable. It is clear that these children have been here for a long time. They aren't chained or tied up, but when I look at them, I don't see any will to get out of here. He has broken them to the core. I wonder if their families are looking for them. I know my grandmother would have never stopped looking for me if I went missing. The sound of footsteps again. The rattling chain and the door opening. I jump up and charge at the man, but it's like punching the air. To him, to them, I'm not here. He goes to the corner and picks up the bucket, leaves an empty one on the same spot and takes the full one out. He comes in again with a box and places it on the floor next to the mattress. Suddenly, the whole room is lit up. He places the portable light at the center of the room, and for the first time, I can see the girls' faces clearly. I see fruit, bread, cheese, milk, and a few juices in cartons. "She's in pain," the older girl says. "You take care of her. You're a woman now, aren't you? And it's your fault that I need her now and not you," he says, and leaves. For the first time, I see the older girl's face clearly when she goes to the box and grabs a banana. I'm seeing the impossible. This is my sister Gertrude.